Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the AMX 13F3AM. It's a Tier 6 French SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Mines, and it's under the command of apgibbo of the TSDS clan. Okay, 155mm howitzer planted on top of a chassis that belonged to an AMX 13-ton tank, so it's particularly light. And this Arty was made to be airborne, so it could actually be transported to any of France's colonies throughout the world, or to any of the trouble spots that it might actually be asked to fight in. Now, enemy have already made their way into the hill. He's loaded, ready for bear. Okay, trying to get this T-52. It's got a fairly shallow arc, the AMX 13 F3AM, so he's decided not to go after that guy straight away. And in fact, he's found two tanks. One round out. Oh, well, he missed the Tiger 1, but he got the M2Y. Now, it will do 630 alpha, 39mm of pen, 7.6 meters on the burst radius, and between 11 and 22 seconds of stun. Now he's just manoeuvred himself slightly into a new position to avoid any counter battery. Rounds out. Another hit. Tiger 1 this time. 286. If he keeps that up, he will certainly get something at the end of the game. They made 621 of this Arty. They started manufacturing or designing in 1959. They started producing them in 1962, and they stopped producing them in 1997. Well, he damaged the Tiger 1's turret there with 254. They sold them to quite a few countries, actually. Argentina picked up 24 of them. Cyprus got 12. Ecuador got 12. Kuwait picked up 18, Morocco bought 98, and Qatar bought 28, the UAE got 18, going for the M2Y, rounds out. Oh, that was good. Unfortunately, he didn't get the kill, but he left the guy on so little hit points. Only somebody has to breathe harsh language at the guy and he'll die. They also picked up either 6 or 10 in Sudan, 20 in Chile, 12 in Peru, and between 12 to 20 in Venezuela. They're not absolutely sure. But of course, France was the biggest buyer of all. I like what he's doing. He is manoeuvring enough to actually avoid any chance of counter battery. The enemy Arty in this game is an M44. Slightly slower, well, actually not so slightly slower, slightly faster fire rate actually. The standard reload for this Arty is actually 30.58 seconds. Oh, he fired one and looked away. Now, big no-no for that. You're not supposed to do that. 25.34 seconds was the reload time. And we've just seen an enemy BZ-58 make his way into the castle grounds. Now, he makes a perfect target, but that T-52 makes an even better target. He's not only facing his rear to us, but he's totally unaware. Oh, that one hit the cliff edge. He's totally unaware that he makes a perfectly stationary target for us to strike. There you go, he's still there. Whenever I see somebody sitting on that corner thinking, oh yeah, I'll just poke my head around the corner and cause a bit of grief to the enemy, then I say, well, okay, I'll just put a bit of grief up your rear. Stand by for the proctology exam. I knew that was going to happen. Absolutely knew it. I haven't watched this replay before, but whenever an Arty or whenever a tank does that, I thought, oh, well, they need a lesson. They need a lesson in you don't park there. That's a no parking zone. It's only for offloading and picking up only. Like at the airport. Well, that BZ just took... Oh, he's been wiped out! 217 hit points. He got the BZ-58 completely. Wow. The guy must have lost some hit points already, but he just landed that one on the turret of the BZ-58 and he expired. Probably from fright. Okay, Poodle. Polish Panther. Direct hit. Oh, he's not happy. Oh, enemy RT counter battery. Well, the Poodle has died, but because he was in a good place, the enemy RT couldn't get at him. So apgibbo still in the game. Picking his targets, found an 88 now. I suspect the enemy RT is over in this corner, actually. Rounds out straight away. Oh, you looked away again. You don't look away. You need to know the information. If that shell actually did hit that 88, you might then realize that the guy actually hasn't moved and he's still in danger. Got a T-34-85 there sitting next to the rock. He's a perfect target. But so is this VK36018 who suddenly disappeared and now he's dead. Okay, there's a Panther making a quick move across the middle there. But I'm pretty sure that 88 is still there. Okay, you know the best way to catch an enemy tank is to try and catch him when he's going to move through a specific point that you know about. Okay, he spotted the G-Row instead, so he's not going to go through that that whole sequence. But what you do is you aim for an enemy tank, a point that you know they're going to go through, and then you fire at that. The G-Row moved forward just as we fired. I think enemy RT's given up trying to fire at us, and that Jagdpanther did die, actually. He tried to take on two of our teammates at the same time, and one of them, the Wizzy 131G, I think it was, actually got the kill. So 2 kills so far for apgibbo. Who's next? Well, we do know there is a tank just over to the left, and that 88, but he does know that there's a G-Row spotted. He's just gone. There's an SU 122-44 somewhere over there. Oh, that's a good target. That's the T-29, but he's got a red line. So something is blocking the shots. He's looking for the counter battery now. I would go for the 88. He's in plain sight of everyone at the moment. There you go. Put another shell into him. Rounds out. Oh, we just saw the tracer. Enemy RT got spotted, and the 88 got a direct hit. So I suspect he did get hit the last time the apgibbo fired at him. So he's somewhere in those bushes at the moment. No, he's not waggling them about. That's a natural effect from the game. But it would be funny, actually, if he was waggling the trees, saying, I'm not here. Because we all know the Monty Python skit about not being seen, don't we? Okay, backing up. Changing position again, avoiding counter battery. There's only 4 left on the enemy team. As far as we know, they're all in the same area. The only one that hasn't been spotted is the enemy Arty, which is the M44, and he's just behind that rock. Now, the 88's still there, so we'll put a round into him. And enemy RT's trying to get at us, I think. Yes, he failed again. He didn't work it out. You see, that's the good thing, that what apgibbo is doing is being unpredictable. He's moving from spot to spot to make it really difficult for the enemy. Well, the T-34-85M's gone. Well, it's not an M version, it was the standard version. But I put another round into that 88, just in case he needs a bit of reminding. He must still be there. Our guys aren't moving forward, but we just saw the tracer coming from the enemy RT. He's just there. Rounds out. Okay, change position. Lovely. And the 88 was there. And he's now taking fire. And he's gone. So there's only 2 left now. The SU 122-44. And I think he's still up on that plateau. The IS is going to find him momentarily. But we want to get that M44 if we can. And that will be our 3rd and last kill if we do. Rounds out. That would have woken him up. change position again. We can actually move into the open now. There's no enemy tanks likely to spot us, but they're all headed for the corner. Last enemy, the M44. I bet you he's showing damage when he's spotted. Those shells will have had an effect. And yes, he's missing half his hit points. So one of those shells did touch him inappropriately, and he's out the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was a first-class tanker for apgibbo of the TSDS clan in the AMX 13 F3AM. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10, and he got a Confederate as well because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team, including killing 2 enemy tanks in there as well. His win rate was 3,988, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, missed out on getting the highest damage in the game. The highest damage actually went to the Wizzy 131GFT, who got 3,055 hit points of damage, and he picked up a high caliber. Second highest damage went to the T29 on the enemy team, who got 3,049 hit points. And the third highest damage, well, that goes to apgibbo, who got 2,083 hit points. When it came to kills, we can see the high scorers were the Wizzy 131GFT, the SU-100 and the SU-122-44 all had 3 kills apiece. 2 kills went to apgibbo and also to the G2 and the T29 and Jagdpanther on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, we can see the top scorer again was that Wizzy 131GFT, the high scorer. He got 1,134, was the only player to get over 1,000 base, with second place going to apgibbo for 927. And then third place going to the G2, who also picked up a Spartan and Confederate and 822 base experience points. He fired 17 rounds, so decent amount of ammunition, lots of moving about, very, very good there. 8 direct hits on the enemy, none of them penetrated though, but he did get 16 splashes, 2,083 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 2, and got 529 hit points of stun assist or 14 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he actually made a loss of 6,088 credits from the game, but he did get 30 bonds, and he also picked up 1,854 experience points altogether. He had to pay full price of consumables, and that's always a big downer on the score. If he'd actually bought those when they were half price at 10,000 credits each, he actually would have been showing a profit here of at least 14,000 or around about 14,000 credits. So it does actually help in the long run, make your figures look much, much better when you buy the credits, the consumables at half price. So that's the first game, and we've got a second one featuring the same Arty, same player. Let's have a look. The second replay is on the north spawn of Murovanka. Game on. Okay, well, we've got an M44 as a teammate, and he's heading the same direction we are. Now, actually, this Arty had 2-part ammo, which was unusual at the time, but I suppose actually it's 155mm. I suppose it's not unusual if you think about it today. It actually has gun depression, this Arty, so it can actually fight over ridge lines, although it's better with the stock gun because, of course, that does have a much lighter vehicle. So it's actually able to accelerate quicker. Okay, he's got that BZ-58 dialed in. Rounds out. Yes, he gets a hit. 143. Right on the turret as well. The actual range of the real Arty was 20 kilometers, so it could go quite a distance. And was actually designed to replace the M41 HMC that had been supplied to France by the Americans. Of course, the Guerrilla, the M41, was a late development in the Second World War because, of course, it was made from a Chappie, and the US did use them in Korea, but they actually used more of the M40, M43 combo instead. The M41 was basically too small for the Americans, and in the end, actually, they gave them way to the French. In fact, a lot of tanks actually were given to the French after the Second World War, including loads of Shermans. M4s were supplied, and the French actually worked on them and actually upgraded them. Oh, well, we can see where the enemy Arty are now. They just fired their shells, and both shells came up at the same time. Oh, that one went long on the Cheetah. Yes, it was the French who actually decided to put high caliber guns onto the Shermans, and that's where they got the Rebel Arise from, the M4 with a 105mm main gun. I think if that had come up against the Tigers, I don't think many of the Tigers would have survived, actually. Rouse out. Direct hit. Now, when this was sent in, the thing is that it is a special game in more ways than one. I won't say why, but obviously you'll find out later on. But this player has actually played over 57,000 games. Now, he thought this battle wasn't very special, but it turned out it was. And you'll understand why. I know it's a bit of a, teaser to say, oh, this is a special battle. It's now got you wondering what's going to happen next. Rounds out. Just missed the G2. Might have been easier actually aiming at the ground near that one to ensure to get the hit. Now this Arty actually has the top speed of 60 kilometers an hour. Now that's not really surprising, because you see a lot of really light Arty are actually capable of going quite some speed, and because this had the AMX 13-ton chassis, and that was a fast tank already, it was able to move about quite rapidly. There was only 2 crew actually on the vehicle whenever they moved. It was the commander and the driver, nobody else. All of them, oh, that was a direct hit. All the rest of the crew would actually go in a couple of trucks that would carry all the ammunition and all the loading gear, because they actually use a kind of shoot arrangement where they can actually, like they have on the M777 today, a kind of shoots where they could actually slide the shell into the breech and really reload the Arty very quickly. Oh, that's a wreck hit. It's always satisfying when you get the twang, but then you miss out on the fact that you actually didn't get a hit there, so you've lost a few hit points. Still looking for that Cheetah. Scores are even at the moment. The enemy Arty are a Hummel and an SU-8, and it looks to the looks of things that they are actually still positioned right at the back of the map in grid squares K2 and possibly K4. We saw the tracers coming up from just different grid squares, but they're still at the back. Two Arty rounds went in simultaneously, actually, after our Super Hellcat IKB-90B. We're not spotting anyone at the moment. The Tiger are pushing into, and his teammate are pushing into the south area, and he's gone. Okay, there's the T-20, and he's backing up. He's trying to get into a position to take a shot at the M4A1 FL10. Of course, that's a tank that was actually asked for and requested from the French by the Egyptians. They wanted to make use of the M4 hulls, but they wanted to use the French FL10 turrets. Well, there's one of the enemy Arty gone, and there's the other one. So they were actually in the same grid square, not a different one. Rounds out, long flight time, but a direct hit right on the money, and that's his first kill of the game. apgibbo hasn't had that many hits, but when he does get them, he enjoys them. That one on the KB3 was actually very good because he couldn't actually see the KB3 when he actually fired at it, and he still got the hit. Especially after that guy just took out one of our teammates. Well, the enemy are down to just 5 tanks now. We've got a 1 tank advantage. And there they are. T-34-100, the constructor, the 100mm gun in a T-34-85, which was a bit crap for it because it's a very small tank. But that was a very good shot to actually damage the T-34. Sadly, our IS did not see the G2, who then took it out on him. So 5 left on each team, but our team has 2 Arty, the enemy team has none. I bet you're all guessing now as to what's going to happen next. We're down to just 4 tanks now. We just lost the IKB-90. Oh, and that's good because that was the end of the T-20 going down to our M44. So there's only 3 enemy tanks. Oh, and so there's only 3 on our team as well. We just lost the Super Hellcat. We're firing around at the Cheetu, where he was last seen. So now might be the moment to consider a new tactic. The M4A1 FL10 is making its way north through the Magic Forest. The enemy have only got 3 tanks. They've got a T-34-100, G2 SP, and the Super Hellcat. About the same number of hit points as we've got. And I think that apgibbo suddenly realised the situation, that it's really the Arty on this side of the map who's actually doing most of the work. And the M4A1 FL10 is now headed into the northeast corner of the map. And you've got to wonder, what the hell is he thinking? Well, I think I know what he's thinking, because I think the M4A1... Oh, and here comes the T-34, and he just got shotgunned by the M44 and killed him. We didn't see it happen, but yep, it did. And the M4A1 FL10 is using the back of the map to ambush anyone on the enemy team who comes towards our cap. So that's what he's doing. We're loaded, ready to go. Rounds out. Now he's firing speculatively at the moment. The G2 SP has been spotted, and he's making his way towards the cap, and he's getting hit by the M4A1 FL10. He's taking fire. One more shot, and he's gone. And that means now there's only 1 enemy left. It's the Super Hellcat in the enemy team. Now we know that the Cheetu saw the, or not the Cheetu, the T-34-100 saw the M44, but at the very last moment, just before he died, when he got smacked in the face with a 155mm round. So he knows there's Arty in this corner. The M4A1 FL10 has come over to join us. Now will be the time to make a really bold move. The Super Hellcat could be waiting near his cap area, but there's going to be a time in all battles, really, if you're an Arty player, where you're going to have to say, okay, I've got a W key, I can use it, and I will use it, and I'm going to take the enemy on face to face, or I'm going to be sneaky. And it looks to me like apgibbo is decided he's going to be sneaky. You see, apgibbo is Batman. I don't mean that quite literally, of course. Okay. He's actually barreling forwards. He really should be trying to use the cover. If you do get spotted, you need to get out of there quick, but he does have a top speed of 60 kilometers an hour, so he can move into enemy territory, and he's doing the right thing to park in one of the bushes. Because, of course, the enemy knows that he's going to park in one of the bushes or behind the structure. In fact, they left the structure half alive, so if the enemy does try and come and reset, they're probably going to either shoot the bushes or they're going to shoot that structure. You can see the M4A1 FL10 sitting behind the cap with acting as bait or as Batman, whichever way you wanted to take it. And the M4A1 is going to pick up the pieces if that Super Hellcat comes back. The M44 in the meanwhile is sitting in the corner just in case the guy decides to pay a visit, and so he can shotgun another one. Okay, we're into the 2 minutes. I've done this myself quite a few times, and it is absolutely hilarious. Remember, this guy's done 57,000 games, and this is the first time he's ever done this in a game. And it is absolutely, it's exhilarating actually to do it, because you know the enemy's out there, and he's up the other end of the map. He's up near the M44. And I think he's found the M44. But he's left it too late. He kills the M44. But, yep, apgibbo has capped out. He's won. Well, that's a hilarious end to the game, because, of course, apgibbo, after 57,000 games, has finally got a Raider-Invader combination. He's won the game by capping out against the enemy, and they never saw him, not once in the entire game. So, and that's surprising considering the T-34-100 drove straight past him in order to get to the M44 and died in the process. But yes, he's got a third-class tanker out of that game. He also got the Raider medal for remaining undetected throughout the entire game, and of course, getting a complete successful base capture. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, even though it's showing 4. And he got the Invader medal because he capped out and got at least 80 capture points in the process. His win rate on that one was 1,873, which is very good indeed. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game, but it really didn't matter because he won the game for his team. 2,508 hit points of damage went to the IS. Second highest went to the Super Hellcat in our team with, oh, actually, it wasn't the second Hellcat. Actually, it was the Chi 2 SP on the enemy team, got 2,186 hit points of damage. And the third highest was the Super Hellcat on our team with 2,111. But yes, it was apgibbo who got 1,173 hit points of damage that capped out to win the game. When it came to kills, we could see that the high scorers were the IS and the M44, 3 kills apiece. 2 kills went to the Super Hellcat, the M4A1 FL10, and also to 3 players on the enemy team, their G2SP, their KB3, and the Super Hellcat, who was still alive at the end, made a big mistake not trying to come back and get a reset and get that Defender medal. And of course, we can see that apgibbo only got the 1 kill on the game. But when it came to base XP, he actually did get 562, which again is pretty mediocre. The high scorer being the IS, getting 1,090, the only player to get over 1,000. 910 went to the Super Hellcat. 653 went to the M44 in third place. And of course, he's in a little way down the table in 562. But again, as I said, he got the winning move of the game. A Aslains medal went to the M4A1 FL10, who did very well actually, but it is a premium tank. So it does have extras anyway, because it gets extra credits an extra XP for the crew, so it trains faster. But very surprising. And of course, the nice bit about that one kill that he did get was that it was one of the enemy Arty that he took out. If he'd taken out both enemy Arty, that would have been even more hilarious, actually, because that really would have rubbed it in. But if we look at detail, we can see he fired 15 shots in the game, got 4 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, and 5 splash. Now, I suspect that the penetrating shot was the Hummel because it must have gone through him. Yes, it did, right through the back of his vehicle for 335. He also got 5 splashes, 1,173, all of it at more than 300 meters, damaged 5 of the enemy, killed 1. Got 100 capture points because he capped out to win. He, on a premium count, he actually made a loss on this game of 6,941 credits. But again, that's down to the fact that he actually paid full price for the consumables. If he'd actually done it at half price and bought them up ahead, he would have made a profit. And he also took away 3,793 experience points out of it as well. And he got a reward for completing a mission out of that one as well. So what a great game, because he's now broken his duck on his Raider, and I'm sure he's going to do it again, because once I'd done it once, I knew I could do it again and again, and I kept doing it. And it's just so funny. The enemy tanks, especially if there's lots of them, and they're coming back, they're trying to kill you, and they can't get to you in time. You cap out and win against 5 enemy or more tanks. You've got yourself a Kolobanov as well. And sometimes it's so hilarious because they leave their own cap open and nobody's around to guard it. And they're all up the other end of the map. And by the time they realize you're in their cap and they've suddenly realized, oh my God, it's an Arty that's in our cap. And then they've got to try and hurry back. And most of them are heavy tanks and they can't do it. And it's just so funny when it does happen. So well done to apgibbo. Finally done it. And I'm sure he will do it again. And he'll send in the next one as well, because it's so funny every time it happens. Hope you enjoyed both of those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.